There's a fire that burns inside. It's an instinct that never lies. The target's tattooed between our eyes. Stand and fight under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away, just like the blood running through your veins. Watching through your eyes. There's only two options: win or die. Win or die. Win or die. It went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so reply. There's a power that's underneath, and you can't see it till you believe. On the edge of infinity, feel the rush under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away, just like the blood running through your veins.
look familiar. Did nothing. Never turn your back on the sea.
What you want now? 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 Trains running alongside it. Nice. We don't play for that shit. And if you want to push I got you. Yeah! So keep acting like you don't know me to come back. Yeah, fool. It's the perfect timing. You see the man shining.
Don't feed.
Go! Come on!
Nautilus!
Victory!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the Globe Conquerors Manila lower bracket match between Archangel and Imperium Pro Team. We'll be your shoutcasters for the very first game of this. I'm Atlas. With me is Chisto.
Yeah, and sobrang excited ako na makita itong rematch ng Imperium Pro Team Archangel. Nung nagsimula itong promotional tournament para sa Globe Conquerors Manila, nag-meet sila in a best of 3 where it was Archangel na nanalo dun sa laban. Pero after dropping best of 5 to Barcy yesterday, ngayon magkakaroon ng rematch itong dalawang team na to.
Definitely, and it's a different playing field, diba? Best of 3, tas magiging best of 5. It's going to be a test of endurance for both of these teams and a test of adaptation as well. So it's going to be very exciting. I think it's going to be a much different result. I'm not going to say who I think is going to win, but it's probably going to be very, very close as well. It's a best of 5, as we said. So looking at it right now, lower bracket, Archangel versus IPT. So it's going to be very, very intriguing.
Yan, recap lang yung nangyari nga kahapon. Barcy Esports winning a best of 5 against Archangel. It was very, very well played best of 5 from them. Hopefully, para sa match ngayon ng Archangel, makabawi naman sila after that tough loss yesterday.
Definitely. It's going to be very tough. But of course, these two teams know each other very intimately. That's why the series, the best of 3 that we saw, was quite close at some points. These two teams, they more intimately know each other's strategies, picks, each other's players, as they are sister teams. So it's going to be quite a match I think we're gonna see here.
Yeah, para dun sa mga ngayon lang nanonood, itong Archangel na to, it's actually the players. Most of their players actually are from Team Manila Eagles, one of the most popular teams. Nag-rebrand na sila into Archangel, and looking at both rosters, for sure magkakilala na itong mga to, having that history in the PGS. So ayun nga, yung fact na alam nila yung laro ng isa't isa could be a factor laban dito sa best of 5.
It is going to be, as I said, quite a match, but looking at everything here, it's all going to lead up to something very, very big. It's so important, and these teams, they do not want to lose at all, because this is just a stepping stone to much greater heights for them.
Yan, binanggit mo kung saan nga papunta itong mga matches na to. This is the Globe Manila Conquerors Promotional Tournament. Right now, 3 teams have qualified para dun sa national qualifiers, Mineski TNC at Barcy Esports. Malalaman natin ngayon sino ang sasama sa tatlong team na yon. It will be either Imperium Pro Team or Archangel.
Man, that has got to be so much pressure on them right now, because that one slot is it's either Archangel or IPT. So it's got to get some nerve on that. Yeah, definitely.
Gusto ko makita yung kung gusto, makikita natin dito sino talaga yung may gusto, kasi Conquerors, it will lead to a possible spot in World, so that's a massive opportunity, especially for our region.
And looking at it performance wise, everyone wants to, as I said, reach greater heights, and this is just going to be a lot of training. A lot of these experiences will lead to playing a lot better in the international scene. But of course, here they have to survive in these murky waters.
Yeah, yun nga, tatlong araw ko na nakikita naglalaro itong mga teams na to because I've been here. But yeah, I'm very interested to see kung ano yung adjustments sa dadalhin ng Archangel pagdating natin sa pick and ban phase.
It is going to be a best of 5, as we said, and this kind of important match. So they have to really crunch their minds here, trying to get the really good drafts, as well as trying to execute their strategies and tactics here.
Yeah, gusto ko yung ban ng Shinzao dito ng Archangel. Shinzao, one of the strongest junglers as of this moment, alongside Graves, because junglers in this patch specifically, gusto nila kaya nila makipaglaban early, and Shinzao is one of those. Mukhang daming tinatanggal na junglers dito ng Imperium Pro Team. Actually, 3 jungle bans targeted all at Rox. So, pinipitch nila yung champion pool neto ni Rox. And if you think about it, Rox did not play as a jungler during the previous PGS split. So, this might be a smart move by them. Pero looking at the bans that Archangel did go through, normally makakita tayo ng Kaisa on red side. But now, Imperium Pro Team have selected Kaisa as their AD carry.
Archangel would definitely put that out for IPT to pick up very deliberately. Let's see how they respond to this. Archangel picks up the Rakan. They could be picking up another strong jungler here. Graves, it was not banned in the first rotation, so very good on them to pick that up. IPT, they might be going for Dr. Mundo.
Yeah, and looking at yung lock-ins ng Archangel dito, gusto ko yung na-pick up nila yung Graves, and they paired it with something that sets him up to deal his damage to Rakan for that engage. But speaking of engage, Imperium Pro Team will be locking in the Prom here, adding so much more CC and utility in that front line for the Kaisa.
As for Archangel, they are going to lock in their Kog'Maw here, so not a lot of information given. They just locked in that Hypercare in the bot lane, so that completes that side of the map for them. As for IPT, they will be banning out the Swain here. As for Archangel, still a lot of jungle bans here total across these two teams, as well as banning out the Vladimir here.
Yeah, gusto ko yung Vladimir ban targeted at Light. Light can play this champion really, really well. And what Vladimir does really good is kaya niya mag-access dun sa backline. And looking at Archangel's backline, they want to keep that Kog'Maw protected. So banning away the Vladimir and the Olaf means that there are less threats onto this Kog'Maw. Ngayon, Zoe yung hinahover ng IPT. It is locked in. It will be the matchup brought into Trevor's Galio.
It's going to be interesting if they lock in this Udyr. And up against that Galio, Zoe does do pretty decently.
Will they lock this in? I don't think they're going to lock it in.
I mean, okay, so it's going to be the Kha'Zix. It is much more consistent. Oh my. It is going to be the Udyr.
So, Udyr locked in here for Imperium Pro Team. A jungler that we don't see that much
definitely not
in competitive play. So, definitely something of a trick under IPT sleeves. Archangel will be locking in the Fiora for the top lane. Gonna shred through the tank line na dadali ng Imperium Pro Team dito. But man, Udyr yung nilock in nila. I'm really interested to see kung paano to pan out once nag-start na yung game. Kasi
Yeah.
this is very uncommon from
Udyr
IPT.
is quite popular amongst a few people in solo queue, but he does have that fighting potential in the early game that could be what he's looking for. He just has to worry a lot about actually getting near these champions that Archangel has picked up.
Yeah, pero kung iisipin mo paano tayo umabot dito sa Udyr pick na to, sobrang daming junglers na naban during the entire banning phase really.
Yeah.
Just a lot of things targeted at both jungles, attacking their pulls. And looking at the draft of IPT, I think yung challenge nila dito is trying to get to the backline of Archangel. Paano nila madadaanan itong Galio ni Trevor, yung support ni Cook, para maabutan si Zencho on this combo. Kasi if they just constantly run at Archangel, kayang-kaya silang wasakin ng Kog'Maw at ng Fiora.
This was one of the problems IPT faced in their best of 3 match against Archangel, where one game they couldn't get close because they didn't have any reliable engage. Shadow here could potentially be an engage tool, but he is on that Braum. It's much harder to get an engage. But let's see how all that pans out here in this game 1 of this best of 5 series for the national qualifier spot between Imperium Pro Team on the blue side and Archangel on the red side.
Yeah, makikita natin yung rematch na to, Atlas. Nung simula ng tournament, nakita natin pinabagsak ng Archangel sa lower bracket itong Imperium Pro Team, but they fought back. And ngayon makikita natin kung makukuha ba nila yung revenge nila. Pero syempre, best of 5 nga tong series na to, di ba? The first game, usually, dito sila magpapakaramdaman. Aalamin nila kung ano yung strategies na dadalhin. And as you move on, dun kayo mag-a-adjust. So, this is a very important first game.
Yeah, it sets up the red carpet for the rest of the match. Definitely game 1, very, very crucial. And because of this, it seems like these two teams, they don't want to take any big risks just yet in this stage of the game, this early in the game. However, seems like Zensho and Kups might be going for some scouting in the bot side.
This is something pretty common that we've seen. Sort of a cheese strategy. Tingnan natin though, kung mag-face check si Shadow at saka si Marky dito, you still have to respect the fact that Braum is a pretty strong champion, level 1.
Yeah.
Can easily lock down one of your members, but maybe the turnaround is kapag naunahan nyo sila. We just have to wait and see.
That's going to be basically the crux of how that ends up. Seems like they won't be face-checking here. But it seems like Zensho and Kups have moved into a deeper spot, but they might be just
sobrang
cutting it
talino.
out. Yeah.
Itong bot lane ng IPT. They know something's up. Nakita na nila tong strategy na to. So, they will be avoiding that level 1 threat. Mukhang standard starts lang. Though in the earlier phases, I think Kaisa would have the pushing priority here over the Kog'Maw, having her Q available. She's a bit more wave clear compared to Zensho's Kog'Maw.
And to just add to that, Shadow does have the minion dematerializer. So they're really going for getting the priority in this lane by just pushing Zensho and Kups in.
Yeah, and ngayon Atlas, kung isa-set natin yung expectations dito para sa Archangel, meron silang Fiora dito sa top lane na nakita natin. They want to get this Fiora ahead, already level 2, bullying MJ out of the minion wave. And going back, diba, gusto nila lumamang itong Fiora because Fiora is a massive split push threat. Kapag lumamang ito, IPT will have to invest a lot of members para lang pigilan siya from pushing down their towers.
This is going to be very difficult if Ivalis actually gets ahead here. Let's see how Rox and Hate play around that. As for this Mermaid Light still harassing Trevor a little bit. He does also have that minion dematerializer, so when he needs it, he will have that priority just by having much more push than Trevor does in the long run.
Hate will be securing the Scuttle Crab. Ibigay niya level tingin. Rox has not cleared his red buff yet. Hate, instead of moving for the invade, is actually looking for a gank mid lane. Tumama yung bubble kaso masyado nang malalim yan para kay
Might
Hate.
be facing Rox here. He's already taken a few shots here. He does have cover from the Raptors. Steals away the big one. It's pretty good here coming from Hate.
Really good steal there. Galing nga dun sa Udyr. So far, it's working out. You haven't seen him get any like big ganks off yet though.
Quite difficult actually. Even with Udyr's like basically auto attack stun, it is still quite hard to get a gap close onto someone like there. Trevor, he got the sleep on him, but it's still very difficult, especially he is on that Galio.
And tingin ko sobrang hirap nga naman kung yung gank yung gank style mo is tatakbo ka lang diretso sa kanila. Unless they're pushed up super deep into the lane, there's no way that the Udyr can actually get to them.
Actually, the best chance he has could be helping a top lane, but it seems like, oh my lord, Light here is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Flashes away with his Spell Thief. Actually, no, that is his natural flash. It does burn it, and that is one big summer spell.
Gusto ko yung flash ni Light dun to avoid the damage from the Graves Q. I think if he got hit by that, magko-commit lalo yung Archangel. But I'm sure they're pretty happy na wala na yung escape ni Light dito. We might see a return gank in the mid lane. Kasi kaya-kaya bumalik ni Trevor dyan. You can use the flash taunt, lock the Zoe down, and then you can pick up First Blood.
Yeah, there's so much damage here coming from Rox as well. He does have a spare flash in his Spellthy, but that's not going to last forever. Seems like that will just be the case here. A few pings in this bot side.
Yan, alam mo isang bagay na nagtataka ko bakit di pa natin nakita. Why isn't Archangel trying to pressure the Mundo up in the top lane? Try and get Ivalice even more ahead here. Kasi the Fiora is already winning the 1v1 matchup. Why not try to snowball her out of control? Really try to put the Mundo behind.
Definitely, and right now, naturally, Ivalice is a little bit ahead of MJ. That's around 2 waves worth of minions that he's missing out. However, it really needs that push from Rox to really put MJ in a position where he can't fight back against Ivalice. Seems like that is going to be the case here. But then again, IPT's other laners here, Light and Marky, they're really going for a lot of priority here with a minion dematerializer and constantly pushing reliably. So it's going to be a little bit harder here for Rox to actually try and help out Ivalice without having some cost in the other lanes.
Yeah, and yun yung gustong gawin dito ng bot lane ng ITK. They want to hold down the Kog'Maw. Ayaw nilang hayaan na lang na magka-free farm lane dito si Zencho. So far, hindi pa ganun kalaking difference in CS. But kung tumuloy-tuloy ito na yung bot lane nga ng IPT nagkakaroon ng priority, unti-unting lalaki ang lead na hawak ni Marky at the moment. But I think nakita siya ni Rock. He is half HP though. I don't think gusto niya labanan to.
That's not a good fight you want to
Lugi
take
ka
right
dyan.
there. Even if he gets the jump on the Rocks, that would not have been a good idea because Ivalice has priority here in top side. MJ is getting pushed back really hard here.
Another bubble will land. Parang ganun lang yung ginagawa pa ulit-ulit ni Trevor. Every time tumama yung bubble, okay, magja-justice punch ako papunta sa tower ko. Will be avoiding majority of the damage. And, you know, it's really good that he has that knowledge in the matchup.
Definitely. And Trevor, he does have that safety just by being a Galio as well against that mage. Light is playing. So he definitely has a little bit of safety, even though that Sleepy Trouble bubble is so much pain coming your way.
Yeah, and you mentioned Trevor on this Galio having that safety. Now he's hit level 6, and this is a massive spike. Hindi lang para kay Galio, but for the entire team of Archangel. Now they have that threat of that semi-global. The Galio that always assists his teammates basta makakagalaw siya palabas ng lane.
All-ins are going to be much more dangerous because Marky and Shadow, they definitely want to get a little bit of a fight here to get Marky ahead, if possible, coming from Hate. But with that teleport from Trevor as well as the hero's entrance, that is going to be quite difficult.
Medyo mabagal tong early game na to, Alex. Wala pa tayo nakikitang first blood. Malapit na mag 8 minutes into this game. So far, isang gank pa lang yung nakikita kong nag-succeed. It was a flash burn. Walang namatay doon. And I think the longer this game goes, the more it favors the lineup of Archangel. Kasi maganda yung scaling nila. They have the Kog'Maw, they have the Graves, they have the Fiora. But you have to note, meron ding insurance sa late game. Itong IPT, they have the Kai'Sa, which is such a good champ towards the late game. But
Like might get taunted here. Can they actually follow up with something bigger? Lots of damage coming from the Winds of War. Seems like Rox cannot really follow up there.
Yun lang yun. Matutot lang siya. Alis din siya. Halos walang nangyari sa mid lane. Not much value taken from him. Gaya na sinabi ko, unless they were able to punish the flash with Zoe. Zoe as a champion, wala siyang escapes na built-in eh. Malapit na mag-cooldown yung flash niya, but we haven't seen Rox get that gank off in the mid lane. Yan si Coops.
It's not really going to amount to much here. At least a little bit of information. Rox isn't a top side. Could go for something against MJ. He's been surviving pretty well considering everything in this matchup.
That is an okay deficit to be under considering it's Fiora into a tank that is melee. Kasi eventually, the Fiora will just go out of control na hindi na siya kayang i-contain.
He wants to try and protect his territory here, but Rox already gets what he wanted.
So far, pretty passive early game dito, Atlas. Yeah. This is not what I expected considering nung una sila naglaban, they were pretty aggressive when facing each other. Pero mukhang for this match specifically, they're pretty happy just playing passively, trying to scale, get more items, get more gold, and then wait for the opponent to make a mistake, and dun sila magsisimula lumaban.
Yeah, because in best of threes, they're substantially shorter, and in best of fives, you really don't want to commit too much in the very first game. You want to get a little bit a better feel of what the other team's planning, how they're playing for today.
Oh no,
Shadow might be in trouble here. Rox is gonna get caught in here, going in. Shadow gonna try and get out of here, but that is 4 people, gets bursted down by Archangel.
Kaya yun sa wakas, meron nang nagkamali na huli itong si Shadow na nag-ward dun sa river ng Archangel. 4 members right there. We mentioned the follow-up coming from Trevor's Galio since he hit level 6. Sobrang daming CC. Walang matatalunan para itong unang Shadow. Goes down for first blood. And after that pick, I think Archangel will secure this Mountain Jake for free.
That is going to be very useful, very well timed gank there onto Shadow as well, because this means IPT can't really trade for anything else other than a few camps on the top side of Archangel. And that was not forced at all. They just saw an opportunity, they jumped at it, they reaped the rewards.
Yeah, wala pa nakukuha ang value itong Udyr. Wala pa tayo nakitang matinong gank galing dito sa Udyr ni Hate. So I think, looking back at Pick and Bans, IPT, pinili nilang i-pinch yung jungle pool, but they ended up getting Udyr as their own jungler. So in the end, was it the best decision?
This is very troublesome for Hate. He's under vision, and he's getting beat down by the Rift Herald. He might get pincered here by Ivalus and Rox, as well as Trevor. He is behind the pit here. He has to flash out, but of course he gets taunted. 3 members wailing on him. He gets taken down, and Archangel...
Salamat sa leash.
Yeah, man. And that is just going to be straight up Archangel's IPT Hate. What was he doing? MJ was nowhere near around top side, so Ivalus had complete control of that top lane. Why did he try and start that Rift Herald?
I think that was a bit of a disrespectful move coming from Hate. Alam niya nakita siya sa Scuttle Crab. He wasn't respecting the fact na kayang-kayang dumating ni Rox at ni Trevor dun.
Yeah, especially since Rift Herald, Trevor can just really help out there, especially since Light wasn't really pushing a lot of his advantage in the mid lane.
Yeah, but looking back, you can afford to make a few mistakes like that. Parang ilabas mo na yung mga ganyan na play. Game 1 pa lang naman eh. So they still have a few more games to play around in this best of 5. Kasi yun nga, they are falling behind quite slowly because of the errors they are making.
Yeah, that's 2 big objectives here. Mountain Drake in the early game might not manifest too much when there's not a lot of big tower sieges, but the Rift Herald could set up what Archangel wants, especially that they have that bonus damage against... Ooh, that's painful.
Oh,
he's gonna
dead.
go in. Yeah, potions is not gonna be enough here. Light, very well played there. Knowing that Rox is squishier than most, he goes for it straight up.
I think nagulat din si Rox sa lakas nung damage na binato sa kanya ni Lighton. He didn't expect that amount of burst, and Light recognizing the damage that he can dish out, flashes aggressively to pick up that kill on the Rox. So a bit of revenge right there for ganking him early. I'll just one-shot you dito sa mid lane.
That is going to put him a little bit ahead. He does need that goal. Oh, Koops might be in trouble here. The concussive blows do not actually amount to much. He gets chunked down, but IPT doesn't get much from it.
Yeah, he will use the W from the Recon to get away. Ngayon though, Hate is looking to try for his gank of the game. I was just a parry.
Gonna try and run away. Parry not burned yet. Has to flash away. They can't die this with the regeneration that MJ has. Easy clap here coming from MJ and Hate. What are Archangel gonna do to try and mitigate the losses from that?
Yeah, that was really nicely played. Galing dito kay Hate. Inabangan niya, bago siya nag-auto-attack, inaabangan niya kung papari muna itong si Ivalus. He was holding off on it, and the mind games caused Ivalus to stutter step just a bit, and it allowed IPT to get a few more auto attacks onto this sphere. Mid lane seems to be next under fire.
Yeah, it's not gonna amount to too much damage here. Trevor is playing that Galio, but yeah, that top side fencing 101. Try and bait out your opponent. Here, it's Rox and Koops gonna try and invade onto this red buff here. They know that Hate is on the other side of the map, but seems like Marky and Shadow are not having it, cutting off any form of escape from the blast cone. Rox still wants this, however. This is going to end up in a 3v3 soon enough. Actually jumping in, Koops into enemy lines. Trevor as well. Hero's entrance in. Shadow is in a big heap of trouble here. Marky has to back off. Light can't do much with Trevor blocking everything in the way here.
Yeah, ayun na naman yung nangyari. Si Shadow na naman yung nahuli with the Rakan and Galio combo. Rakan can instantly get access to the backing end. Ivalis
They really want
trying to
this
defend
tower.
this.
Ivalis successfully defends his Hate and MJ. They have to get away here. That's way too dangerous to try and force.
Pili ko kaya ni Ivalis to kung gusto talaga niya.
Yeah, he's gonna go in actually. Takes down Hate in a flash. MJ is next. Flashes away, but he has the launch in a second from now. Double kill goes to Ivalis. IPT getting greedy on all sides of the map here. Light has to flash away as well with a spell feed. Wow.
Yeah, ngayon Rift Herald is summoned in the top lane. Walang tao dun. Galing sa IPT para mag-defend. Makukuha ni Ivalis yung first tower of the game dito.
Oh man, that is huge damage on that turret, especially with a Mountain Drake. Ivalis is going to deal even more damage much more quickly. And this is because IPT, they tried forcing the top side even when Ivalis was already there.
Yeah, sabi sa'yo, kaya nga yung 2v1 ng Fiora yun. Pinipilit nilang kunin yung tower na yun. Kaso hindi na nirespeto yung fact that Fiora deals a lot of damage and wala silang bawi eh. Tumakbo lang sila doon and Ivalis recognizing na kayang-kaya niya silang labanan.
Yeah, especially in that situation, 2v1, they're bunched up together. Ivalis already had a Hydra at that point, or rather the Tiamat at that point. So that's a lot of damage split between the two of them. There's a lot of disrespect here coming from IPT, not just in top side with that turret, but also just really fighting over that red buff in the bot side, knowing that Trevor did have his hero's entrance. So
hindi lang from IPT, but from Hate specifically, parang may pinipilit niya masyado itong mga objectives ng una. Yes, it's a good mindset. Yeah, I want to get objectives right. Kaso, you have to respect the fact that Archangel can punish you if you overstep.
Yeah, IPT in this game really needs to know when to fold it. They have to know when to give up these objectives because it's like delayed gratification. They can get that tower later after Ivalis is in a worse position, but there they just force it. Let's see how IPT recovers from that. They want this Mountain Drake as well. Archangel gonna poise for that too. Ivalis and MJ moving to the middle side of the map just to try and get more from that. Shadow.
Di pa rin available yung Galio ni Trevor dito. So if a fight does break out, that's one big cooldown na hindi pa magagamit ng Archangel. I'm pretty sure they're just buying time until maging available yung Galio and then they can go for this.
Yeah, that's around 30 seconds until Hero's entrance is available once again. That's a small window of time that IPT can get this without too much pressure from Trevor, but it seems like they are going to go in. Shadow, Hate once again, gets taken down. It seems like Mark is going to try and DPS him down, but in the meantime, it seems like Rox already got the dragon. Gets taken down by Marky. Trevor going to go in with the rest of his team, helping him out. However, Light gets taken down. Marky is going to try and get a little bit more damage here, but Trevor flashes in with a Justice Punch. Marky flashes in turn. Ivalis going to try and DPS MJ down as they run away, but Marky goes a little bit too close to Ivalis here, setting up the rest of the fight for Zensho to ace them.
Marky, bakit ka dumikit sa harap ni Ivalis dun? He was in range of the Q of the VR, tas umabot yung burst damage. Everyone from Archangel instantly going onto Marky's Kaisa the moment that he was in rage.
Yeah, and Kaisa already has such short range for an AD carry, and just careless positioning right there really cost him a lot. It actually goes for the ace there by Archangel.
And you know how all of that started out? Lugi na yung IPT, nung nagsimula yung fight na because he stepped too far forward. He's very squishy on this Udyr. Everything was blown onto him. Nakita mo, yung ultimate ni Coops, locking down Udyr, basically does nothing. Doesn't even get the dragon.
Man, and Archangel there, not only did they hold the front in that team fight, they also took down the dragon, as you said, and won an entire fight off of that. Seems like Archangel right now is such a huge lead. 4,000 might not seem like a lot, but it's only 18 minutes in the game, and that's already 2 Drakes and a lot of turrets taken down on their side.
Yan, malaking value yung dalawang Mountain Drake dito sa side ng Archangel because they can look at the Baron. Meron silang combo na Rage Blade. Double Mountain Drake will help them shred through that so quickly. And the split push of the Fiora as well. Pag nakadikit sa tower, itong Fiora ni Ivalis, sobrang bilis babagsak ng mga towers yan dahil sa double Mountain Drake.
And it's also building up to that Triforce here. Has the Phage already, and the Sheen is going to be big for pushing these turrets as well once his wave gets there. So this is just straight up full-on split push for Ivalice, but if he gets into a fight, because he's ahead and his items are just very good as well, he deals a lot of damage too. So IPT needs to be very careful. They need to respect the damage that Archangel can put out.
And then mag-set up na mag-siege itong Archangel. So try nilang maghanap ng laban dito. If they find the window, meron na yatang flash si Coops. So if somebody, once again, from IPT steps too far forward, Coops can easily engage with this Rakan.
Seems like IPT is giving up his
Hate na naman.
Oh, Hate gonna try and 1v on Ivalice. He has a head start in the damage here, but Zensho is there to try and get the revenge kill on him. Hate, he can definitely 1v1 Ivalice there.
Very interesting there. You wouldn't think na yung 0-3-1 na Odir kaya niyang i-solo kill yung Fiora ni Ivalice after what Ivalice has been doing in this game. But knowing na siya yung nauna na maglabas ng damage yun, the Fiora not able to set up and hit her vitals means that he can win the duel against Ivalice.
Yeah, especially building up to his Triforce, has the Blood Razor as well. So just having that plus a head start means that Ivalice loses like what, 1 second of DPS. That's already a lot when Hate is attacking you so fast with his attack speed item.
Yeah, so things will be reset here quite a bit. Since namatay si Ivalice, what it does for IPTs, it buys them a bit more time. Then they don't have to deal with the split pushing Fiora. Wala na yung threat ni Ivalice na nag-split across the map. Ngayon, Cooks, he can dash back if he does choose to. Yeah, pretty safe.
They have to be very careful. So, that's a lot of damage. That's going to take him down straight up. IPT has a short window of time here. Cooks has been the reason why Archangel has been winning a lot of these fights. The engage that Rakan has does so much for Archangel's advantage here. IPT, without that threat, they can go for a push here in this mid lane.
Alam mo, natatawa ako. Kakasabi ko lang na safe si Cooks yun, and then he ate the bubble from life. Tapos once again, nakakuha na naman ng pick-off itong IPT. Meron ng setup kanina yung Archangel, but after those two pick-offs, they're giving IPT enough breathing room to reset their vision, try and get control back in this game.
They do have a lot of potential as well. Ivalice is still going to be a huge problem, but Hate going to try and help out his buddy here. MJ's taking a lot of damage from the vitals being hit down, but Hate stuns him. It's not able to parry it. So just another kill here coming for MJ.
Yeah, ibang situation yan. After nung nangyari sa top lane, meron ng Thornmail na bow si MJ. So Fiora's healing will be mitigated quite a bit.
That's actually a very good pickup here for MJ. And now it seems like IPT's playing around more against how Archangel is playing. Since Archangel, they've been punishing IPT hard for their greed. They're going for more safe plays here that does actually give them substantial leads. Like there, since Ivalice is taken down, IPT has a lot more breathing room, as you said.
Yeah, and this is a very positive thing para sa IPT because they aren't backing down. They were behind, but after a few pickoffs, they are clawing their way back into this game. We've yet to see Archangel find another engage with the Rakan and Galio combo. Hindi pa natin nakitang makahalap sila ng fight. And IPT have been finding pickoffs of some Archangel's members. Ngayon, it's a bit of a split up here by IPT. Mark is all the way in the top lane, but he does have teleport, so he can join fights.
It's a very good bit. A lot of pressure there on the top side. So it doesn't seem like Archangel's responding to it just yet.
No.
That could be trouble. Light could deal a lot of damage here. Flashes over with his own actual flash. Gets punished for it hard with Zensho.
Yeah, that's greedy from Light.
Very, very greedy.
Makuha na naman yung one-shot on Trox. Pero nandun yung response ng members ng Archangel. They use the engage from Kupsirkan. Zoe, no escapes at all. They also invest the Galio again. Baron na tinitignan ng Archangel. Double Mountain Drake. Trevor can tank this. Now, tanong, will Hate get here in time? He's still in phase.
They immediately jump onto Hate and Shadow here. MJ, rather. It seems like they will go straight for the pickoff on Shadow. That means one big engage from IPT has been taken away. They can continue dancing around this purple worm here, this Baron. Meanwhile, Ivalice getting a good push onto the bot side. Lots of pressure all around here for Archangel.
Nakita ng Archangel na nasa bot yung Udyr. There's no threat of a smite steal. Ngayon, ang tanong, will IPT find that window where they can actually go for this? Hindi na makuha yung steal for sure since nandito si Rox. They're trying to find the fight. They're trying to turn for this Hate.
They can possibly try and go for this. Hate and MJ right around the corner. They can go straight for the dive. Archangel is around 75% health, half for Trevor, so this does push them away.
Okay, that could have been disastrous for IPT. Kung pinili ni Hate na mag-stick around sa bot lane para i-match si Ivalice, baka nakuha ng Archangel yung Baron dun. But the threat of both Marquis, Kaisa, and the Mundo running at them, Galio isn't that tanky yet. Maybe. Yeah. He's not building the full-on tank Galio. That's why they need to turn away from that Baron. He will be taken down too low, and kaya-kaya silang ubusin ng Marquis if he did get the chance there.
Yeah, even with a numbers advantage there, it's quite tough to fend off both MJ running at you as well as Marky. Now that he has both Yunans and his Ginsu, has to be very careful. Light could get a one-shot here. So much damage. Has to burn both Flash and the heal.
Yeah, both summoners down on the Kog'Maw. Gonna be easier for IPT to catch him next time around for the next 4 to 5 minutes since wala siyang summoner spells. Archangel, after those pickoffs, after getting a chance to go for the Baron, they actually don't commit for that objective. So actually giving IPT a lot of breathing room here.
And pretty much when IPT wants to fight, now that Zensho has both of his summers down, he doesn't have any real escapes here. So probably it might be a good idea for Light to get the pick off there. Maybe even MJ and Hate just going in. Seems like they know where Hate is.
They can't rush this down. It's double mounted. They get a 7-0 2 combo with Ginsu's Rage Spade. This Baron can't go over.
Hate is isolated here. Kubs is running towards him. Cannot get the charm just yet. But it seems like they pushed off the Baron for now.
Kailangan mag-decide ng Archangel dito kasi nawawalan sila ng towers to IPT. They're giving up objectives and they aren't committing.
Ivalice is on his way here. He will be here before MJ does, but they have to be absolutely careful how they play this. Seems like Ivalice is already in mid lane, and that's a signal for IPT to cut.
IPT are playing the Baron dance really, really well here. Hindi na hinahayaan na kunin ng Archangel din ng libre. Kasi at some point, you have to think Archangel has to commit to taking down this Baron because that's how they regain majority of the control back in this game.
Yeah, and slowly IPT is just equalizing the gold here. The Mountain Drake, even if it does have a lot of pressure on the Baron, on the turrets, in an actual fight, it doesn't give any combat stats. So once the goal between IPT and Archangel is thinned down, it's going to be just straight up how they play these team fights, how they play the macro as well when moving around the map. Seems like Trevor here.
Trevor's gonna get run down here. This red buff.
He's gonna save a little bit of time here with the stopwatch on Zanya, but seems like Rox will be able to help him out. Lots of damage from both of them here. Flashes the Justice Punch very well. He's able to take down Trevor and Hate. He's just gonna run down onto Rox and take him down. Light not being able to take down Coops with his Battle Star, but just being able to use his passive. So much damage. He's dead here. Just gets knocked off for good measure here coming from Shadow. IPT, man, has equalized the gold, has the control over this Baron pit right now. No smite from Rox. Only Ivalice can try and stop this, but he's stuck bot lane. All he can do is try pressuring this.
Bawing-bawi na yung IPT dito. After this Baron thing, they get a few pickups. Marky plays super aggressive. He knows the limits of his champion. During that fight against both Trevor and Rox, kahit na naton siya, he flashes away from all of the follow-up damage. So good reactions right there for Marky. After that play by him, they're rewarded with the Baron buff. Kanina Archangel yung tumitingin dito sa Baron, they had the tools to take it, but they never committed to actually rushing it down, even though they had the means to.
Yeah, and definitely, that's still showing a lot of respect because IPT could very easily stop a Baron even if Archangel has control. So here, IPT showing their own experience here. These are very experienced players, and even though they had huge fumbles in the early game, they're just getting back with a vengeance here at 27 minutes in the game, and it's really paying off for them. 3,000 gold ahead, that's not a lot at 27 minutes in the game, but definitely just having that decisiveness and going for these fights is definitely good for them.
Yeah, it's a really scary situation for Archangel kasi binanggit natin during the earlier phases of this game. They had to get Ivalice ahead para split push stretch siya, but yeah, they did get him ahead. Lumamang yung Fiora dito for quite a bit. Kasi a few ganks by Hate just really turn it around for MJ's Mundo in the 1v1 matchup. And MJ is actually ahead in items compared to the Fiora. Tatlong items na yung
have to body block there for Rox. Seems like Trevor is taking the brunt of the damage here. Have to be very careful. It seems like IPT at this point is picking better fights for them. Earlier, they were making some very, very questionable plays on how they start these fights, but now IPT seems like they're doing a lot better here.
Oh, no.
However, Hate!
Di niya alam na warded.
Come on, man. They just said you were picking better fights. But seems like here IPT, with a loss of one big source of their DPS, they still have the Baron buff, can still possibly go for the pressure in this mid lane, but wow, that death by Hate there is going to cost them a lot of time.
Yeah, back and forth this game goes. And nakita natin, the moment the team gets a lead, one of their members gets picked off and then the entire setup is just ruined. Kaya pabalik-balik tayo dito. Kanina Archangel yung lumalamang. Na-pick off yung members sila. Nakabawi IPT. Ngayon, namatay na naman si Hate after he face checked into a bush. Oh no!
Man, that was going to be live.
Paulit-ulit na lang nangyayari to.
What am I watching? It seems like, yeah.
Somebody gets control of the game, two of their members die, it's ruined. Bawi na kagad yung enemy.
But here, Marky's still going to get really high. Look at his CS here, 329 at 29 minutes. 30 minutes even. So that's actually very good ratio in terms of CS per minute here. He could be the key here for winning a lot of these fights. But IPT, as I said, they need to stop doing that.
Why are we talking about CS? But it's more important that Archangel have regained control.
Yeah.
After those two pickoffs, nakakuha pa silang tower against a team that has Baron.
Definitely. So that is going to be a huge advantage here for Archangel.
This game, back and forth we go. Alam mong hirap sabihin kung sino yung mananalo dito as the third Mountain Drake. Pretty much gonna go over. The team that already has two.
A ton of objective damage here for Archangel. It's gonna be really painful if they get in range of any of these turrets by IPT.
And not just turrets as well, yung Baron.
Yeah.
Kapag nag-respond na yung objective na yan, maybe this time, since tatlo na yung Mountain Drake nila, magpo-commit na tong Archangel into taking that down.
Seems like they have their work cut out for them. Let's see, everyone is back up. They can regroup here, try and see what they can do. Hate gonna try and wait around here. He's just waiting for someone to try and take this wave because he has a lot of 1v1 potential. Even if it's Ivalice, he can take him down very, very quickly if he gets a jump on him.
Okay,
Just
everyone
have to
from
be very
IPT
careful.
is hovering around this bot side of the map. Wala pang neutral objective na malapit mag-spawn. So the important thing here is setting up your waves. The side lanes need to be pushing in your favor so that the enemy team is pressured to answer. Ngayon,
Ooh,
Hate.
Hate.
Pa nag-aantay si Hate. Ngayon, nagdala na siya ng control ward para sure siya na hindi na warded yung bush. Dinaanan lang siya ni Ivalice dito.
Seems like...
Oh, he actually completes his recall. Ayaw niyang i-1v1 yung Fiora.
Yeah, it seems like that's just a little bit of respect here for Ivalice. Hate could potentially try and take him down, but at this point with 3 items, plus the Executioner's Calling as well, will cut down a lot of that turtle stance lifesteal.
Maybe pag 2v1. Andito na si MJ, andito rin si Hate. Maybe pag 2v1, kaya na.
Oh man,
no.
Marky gets taken down easily here by Clips and Zensho.
That's unlucky. Once again, another pick-off taken by Archangel. Marky gets caught out. Even though he burned his flash, he still goes down. And wala, ultimate lang nila kanina gamit nun ngayon. Tatry nilang bumawi dito.
They want to go for Trevor, but he is quite tanky. Rox is running around the corner. Teleport coming in from Ivalice as well. They can't take down Trevor, but Hate is behind enemy lines, going for Rox. Hero's entrance means that he survives long enough. However, he gets the kill indeed. Let's see how Ivalice faces off against Light here. That is not going to be an escape for him. Double kill goes to Ivalice.
Okay, 15 seconds pa until mag-respond si Marky dito. Triple Mountain Drake. Tignan mo yung damage nila dito sa tower na to.
This is gonna go down
It's
quick.
gone.
Yeah, it's just gone at that point. Zensho and Ivalice both wailing down. That is gonna be an inhibitor. They could go for Nexus turrets here.
Yeah, they can get a lot here, but with both MJ and Marky up, it's still a 4v2.
Yeah, it's still
Marky has to do a lot of work to defend his don't
MJ
get
gets taken
taunted.
down so much here, and Marky once again so easily taken down with such short range. Easy clap here come from Archangel. They are going to go for game here. So much damage on these turrets. Let's go straight for the Nexus. The confidence coming in for Archangel, and they take game 1 of this best of 5 series.
Napaka-weird yung game na yun, Atlas. Honestly,
strange.
it was a good game for Archangel, but it was still very much back and forth because during the earlier phases, Archangel, they had control. They were pressuring with the split push of the Fiora, and then a few pickoffs happened, and then IPT have Baron. Sila na yung nagko-control. And once again, yung face check ni Hate.
Yeah.
Doon sa top side jungle. And then, just right after nahuli si Light, in the mid lane, and Marky as well gets caught in the side lane. Just the back and forth, but in the end, Archangel pushing through in the end.
Yeah, you can't really afford to make those kinds of mistakes. Like IPT, they stole the ball from Archangel and then they almost immediately dropped it there. So they have to adjust those mistakes coming on to the next games of this match. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely this is a best of 5 series, so they still have a lot of time to adjust, make sure that everyone's in the right mindset. They have to show respect to Archangel, because that was a lot of times where IPT just showed huge disrespect, just went in face check, not expecting a punish, and then immediately they pay for it.
Yeah, so that means Archangel are gonna take a 1-0 lead in this best of 5. Gaya na sinabi namin ni Atlas earlier, mahabang series itong mga best of 5 dito. So a lot of adaptation, a lot of changes could happen moving on to the future matches.
Of course, that's, as we said, this is just game 1. We'll be seeing more of this match between IPT and Archangel after a short break. We've been your Shoutcasters. I'm Atlas. With me was Chisto, and we'll be seeing you. He's going to go in, actually. Takes down Hate in a flash. MJ is next. Flashes away, but he has the lunge in a second from now. Double kill goes to Ivolus. IPT getting without too much pressure from Trevor, but it seems like they are going to go in. Shadow, Hate once again gets taken down. It seems like Mark is going to try and DPS him down, but in the meantime, seems like Rock already got the dragon. Gets taken down by Marky. Trevor gonna go in with the rest of his team helping him out. However, Mike is taken down. Marky is gonna try and get a little bit more damage here, but Trevor flashes in with a Justice Punch. Marky flashes in turn. Ivolus gonna try and get MJ down as we run away, but Marky goes a little bit too close to Ivolus here, setting up the rest of the fight for Zencho. We'll be able to help him out. Lots of damage from both of them here. Flashes the Justice Punch very well. He's able to take down Trevor, and Hate, he's just gonna run down onto Rocks and take him down. Like not being able to take down Coops with his Battlestar, but just being able to use his pass with so much damage. He's dead here. Just gets knocked off for good measure here, coming from Shadow. IP and Rocks running around the corner. Teleport coming in from Ivolus as well. They can't take down Trevor, but Hate is behind enemy lines, going for Rocks. Hero's entrance means that he survives long enough. However, he gets the kill indeed. Let's see how Ivolus faces off against Light here. That is not going to be an escape for him. So much here, and Marky once again so easily taken down with such short range. Easy clap here come from Archangel. They are going to go for game here. So much damage on these stairs. Go straight for the Nexus. The confidence coming in for Archangel, and they take game 1 of this best of 5 series.
Napaka-weird yung game na yun, Atlas. Honestly, it was a good game for Archangel.
young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things and wanna leave my old life behind. Not a yes sir, not a follower. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the foyer. Take a number. I was lightning before the thunder.
Thunder, 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 thunder,
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, thunder, thunder. Kids were laughing in my classes while I was scheming for the masses. Who do you think you are? Dreaming about being a big star. They say you're basic, they say you're easy. You're always riding in the backseat. Now I'm smiling from the stage while you were clapping in the nosebleeds.
thunder, 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 thunder,
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder, thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder.
thunder,
you understand that I'm never changing who I am? It's time, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger than I'll admit. I'm just the same as I was. Don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Globe Conquers Manila. This is, of course, the lower bracket match between IPT and Archangel. We ended that last game with Archangel winning it very decisively at the end, but now this is the second game. We'll be your shoutcaster for that one. I'm Atlas. With me is Chisto.
Yeah, and you did say that Archangel won that decisively in the end, but the road to getting towards the end of the game, that was not decisive at all.
Yeah, very bumpy.
That could have easily been decided by either team. The way that it was super back and forth, each team giving up their own pickoffs, it really swayed the game in a team's favor at a certain point. But in the end, it was IPT fumbling towards the end. It gave Archangel the win. So now they have momentum in this best-of-5 matchup. They're up 1-0. The question heading into Game 2, can IPT bounce back?
Yeah, definitely. They need to be able to adapt to this, because if they lose this one, they lose so much momentum, and then Archangel is at match point. And here, they need to fix a lot of those mistakes. What are those mistakes? They were not showing a lot of respect when face checking, so they were easily punished by Archangel. They were picking fights that they shouldn't have taken. They were very overconfident taking those. A lot of times, they got caught, mostly because they overstayed their welcome in one spot. So if they don't fix that, Archangel can easily exploit that once again.
Yeah, and one more problem that I'd like to point out was during the drafting phase, IPT were happy to constantly pinch the jungle pool, but it seems like they had to settle for a low-tier jungler once they actually finished all of those bans. They had to settle for Udyr, something that isn't the best for competitive play. It did have some positive moments, but ultimately I think Hate, the way that he played that Udyr, led to IPT's downfall during Game 1. Tignan natin, what adjustments can Imperium Pro Team bring into the second drafting phase?
Yeah, so it seems like here they might still go for that really jungle pinch here, but they it seems like it's gonna be the same bans here.
Okay, their last band's gonna be Skarner.
It's probably, but it seems like it's gonna be Morgana for them. Let's see, Archangel, what will they ban for this first rotation? It's gonna be the Olaf. So pretty similar bans here, but here IPT, they pick up their jungler first if they do lock in this corner.
Okay, I like this, that they aren't pinching themselves. Instead, they're pinching the enemy team's jungler. They put such a heavy priority on securing this Skarner for their lineup. I'm Skarner not the S tier jungler at the moment. Still think Graves and Xin Zhao are the strongest junglers on the current patch, but still does have his positives. You still have that Impale to easily lock down a member and single out a member of Archangel if they do want to do so. Now, Rakan is being layered over the Skarner, so a lot of engage already being secured here by Imperium Pro Team. It signals that they want to start fights.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tricky here for Archangel. So far, what they picked up is Graves and Zoe, not very high escape champions that we see, so that can be easily exploited here by Rakan and the Skarner. Let's see if they do lock in the Kai'Sa once again. They need to be able to play it much better than they did last time, but with Rakan, it should be a lot easier in the laning.
Yeah, now, looking at what Archangel could pick up here, Thresh would be a decent option given that there's a lot of engage on Imperium Pro Team side. Thresh does have a bunch of disengage with a Dark Passage and a lot of CC options to push them back away. We're yet to see the lock in here from Archangel. Yeah, so it is locked in. Now Imperium Pro Team might want to target either the top lane pool of Ivalice or the AD carry pool of Zencho. They will ban away the Fiora of Ivalice.
Since they don't want to deal with the Ivalice, Archangel doesn't want to deal with the Mundo because it can get out of control if Ivalice doesn't get ahead against that Mundo. Camille ban out against Ivalice, so not as much carry potential here for Archangel. And yeah, I like the Thresh pick here come from Archangel together with the Ezreals because it allows for so much safety on the bot side. If if Hate and Shadow go for that gank, the Flay and as well as the hook and the box coming from Kups here is a lot easier to work with.
Shadow is currently hovering over Zed. He is locking in the Zed, so bit of pun play there. But yeah, Zed locked in here for Light in the mid lane against the Zoe.
That's ironic. Light and Shadow.
It's quite ironic. I don't think the Yasuo is going to be the lock in here for Ivalice.
We did see...
Maybe we're just being teased.
Yeah, it could be a little tease. We saw this kind of matchup in the LVL, but of course, it's not going to be the case here for the Conquerors. But let's see, it's going to be the Singed here.
I actually like the Singed into the Ornn matchup. There are some things that Singed does very well that Ornn doesn't have an answer to. Singed can proxy farm, which means farming under the enemy team's tower, and then Ornn can't answer that. Ornn can't stop him and push him away from that. And one more thing that the Singed does do against this Ornn, the W from the Singed has a grounded effect, and if you put it on top of the Ornn when he casts Call of the Forge God, he can't knock it back with the second part because it's considered a dash. So that's one more thing that the Singed can deny from the Ornn here of MJ.
Yeah, if Ivalice plays it right, he could potentially stop a big engage or counter engage coming from IPT with just one well-placed pile of goo coming from that Singed here. But overall, it seems like IPT, they want to go in, they want to pull back Archangel into their territory and then take them out brutally. Of course, this is game 2 of this best of 5 match between IPT and Archangel. Archangel's leading by 1 game here, but let's see if IPT can respond in kind.
Yeah, let's see what Imperium Pro Team can do in this game. We did say during the pick and ban phase that they were layering on their options for engage. There's a lot of ways on IPT's side to start a fight. The question is, can they find these fights against Archangel? The only disengage I see from Archangel is the Thresh. The Ezreal can Arcane Shift away, but aside from that, once IPT finds a catch, they can just layer on the CC over and over onto the members of Archangel.
If IPT plays their cards right, it's going to be very hard for Archangel to get out. As you said, not a lot of escapes here. Even Rocks, even with a quick draw, even with a knockback from his collateral damage is not enough. If everyone in IPT just running at them, they have a Shadow here, they have Marquee, Light's going to dive in definitely, looking for Zencho or Trevor here. So it's going to be very scary if Archangel is not careful.
Yeah, and we're talking about the win conditions of Imperium Pro Team here. Let's go ahead and talk about the other side's win conditions. Archangel, there's a lot of poke coming out of both Zencho and Trevor on their champions. And there's a lot of pick potential
Shadow
as well.
might be in trouble here. Oh dear. He's going to take a lot of damage. Has to knock off both Coops and Trevor and burn his flash. Especially this one, he lost so much health when minions are already in the lane.
Yeah, it's to flash away because there was no escape coming there unless he burned that flash. Now Marquee will be forced to miss a few CS here because Zencho and Coops will be zoning him away.
He's going to miss at least 2 here. And man, that is pretty bad RNG for those minions. That minion charged backwards, so it is going to delay the push in a little bit more. So Marquee not in a very good spot right now. Shadow got caught.
Yeah, and we saw Archangel go for the similar strategy during Game 1, but IPT read them like a book and actually avoided the trouble by not face-checking the bushes. But looks like for this game, the cheese strategy did pay off for Archangel to get the flash burned by the Rakan. And what this does is it invites Rocks to visit the bot lane and try and find a catch onto Shadow with the Thresh.
Especially now that they're very behind, Zencho and Coops really want to push them in, apply the pressure, wait for Rocks. Maybe they could get a very good dive here if Coops gets a good death sentence. Of course, here in top side, so farming game here between Ivalice and MJ. But Ivalice is pretty fearless here. He wants to push in MJ a lot, and he's very confident that he won't die.
I don't think anything's gonna happen top lane
pretty much
at all for the entirety of the game until they actually group up with their teams.
Ooh,
unless one of them misplays heavily, there's no way that both these tanks could actually kill each other. So Hook will land onto Shadow. Just the death sentence though, not much value taken from that Hook.
Just a little bit of poke damage there, but of course Shadow is going to regen that pretty quickly as the Biscuit has a potion still, but they are getting pressured really hard here. They might need a little bit of help here from Hate, but he really wants to get those scuttles, get to level 6 as fast as possible to get the most potent gank he can.
Yeah, you definitely want to be level 6 first on the Skarner before you go for that first gank of the game. Makes it a ton easier, especially this early. Nobody's gonna first buy QSS if you're Archangel. That delays your damage quite a bit. And looking at their team, they need to snowball. They want to get ahead here so that during the mid game, there is gonna be no answer from IPT.
Has to be absolutely careful how they play these next few minutes here. It's going to be crucial because right now Hate is around a bot side. Doesn't see much right now, but Ivalice is going to get ganked here. Gotta get a gank here coming from his jungler. They might go for a really big dive here onto MJ. Taking a lot of damage. Has to be careful. Gets the first blood actually, and Rocks gets away with a sliver of health, and MJ, he's feeling pretty confident after that.
Okay, so Archangel tried to make the play work onto MJ, but he played it super patiently, using the searing charge.
Might be going for a fight here. Does not knock up Zencho. Has to break off the fight right there. Hates around the corner, but I don't think he can actually make something happen.
Yeah, he's just gonna pass by. Still a jungler top lane, so I'm just gonna invade the bot side jungle. Pretty smart move by Hate. He does have to be careful though, because I don't think his team can support him if he gets caught out here.
Yeah, they don't have priority just yet. Other than in mid, Light's pushing Trevor quite a bit in. Now that he has his death mark. Ooh, Hate just flashes over. Does not want to run into Zencho and Coops. A pretty safe play right there, but does burn his flash. MJ might be in a little bit of trouble here. Ivalice is going to go right on him. MJ goes for the head, but to try and escape. But this is going to be painful. Ivalice does not get the finishing blow.
I would have flashed for that. I think Ivalice would have dealt enough damage, but still, I think he's pretty happy that he will force MJ out of lane.
Rocks here, gonna try and go for something against Light. Actually, he does not have his death mark just yet, and he has to run away. He still has his flash, has to dodge the sleep the trouble bubble here and flash over the wall. MJ safe, and just relieves a lot of pressure here that is being applied on Trevor.
And just a bunch of flashes burned here by both solo laners of IPT. Not much is gonna come into effect until Archangel can actually find the punish. Those flashes burn will be just be fine for IPT.
Whew. That could be dangerous, but of course, could be a little poke here onto Shadow. Not just a lot. Rocks might go for rotation down their bot, but seems like he has other problems. Just clear his camps here. Could be dangerous if Marky gets caught.
Oh, decent prediction right there, just out of range, but he was pointing the death sentence in the proper direction.
Just one pixel away right there. Could be very close, but I don't think it could amount to a dive. Zensho's pretty much out of mana at this point, so has to back away. Has to go for his first bet here.
Yeah, he's gonna buy Tear of the Goddess. Probably mana aggressive. No, he only has enough gold for that tier. So Zensho will be stacking that. Has the teleport to get back.
He does have the Sheen.
He actually bought the Sheen, so yeah, he has enough gold for both those mana items. Ezreal gonna hit a bit of a power spike here. But talking about Ezreal's power spikes, the moment he spikes is really at 2 items. Once he completes his Muramana and a possible Trinity Force, that's when Zensho is super strong on this Ezreal, and that's when Archangel wants to start looking for more fights.
Yeah, definitely. OMJ caught behind enemy lines. He's looking for the Blast Cone to save him, but it seems like he gets denied here by Rocks, and now Hate's going to try and help him out by calling the Forge God. Will it be enough? Does not get the headbutt to knock them up, but however, is going to be a 1-for-1 still, but Light is going to help them out. Rocks quick draws away. And the Death Mark does not deal a substantial amount of damage, but now Trevor is caught between 2 members because Coops is here for the assist. Light has shields, but it's not enough. Death Sentence locks him down. Shadow is left alone, and Hate is going to get taken down by Trevor on the wayside.
Yeah, Archangel wins that skirmish in the jungle, initially from the catch onto MJ. He wasn't able to blast cone over the wall for that disengage since the Sin canceled the animation, I believe, with the fling. So that was a very interesting interaction right there. And man, Archangel with the response as well. I like how Cooks roamed all the way towards that fight just from the base.
Really paid off. Gave them even more of a numbers advantage there. And IPT had a lot of trouble getting out of that fight, especially MJ. Tried to clear that ward there, was not very wise. And now here, since Shadow can't respond top side, Marky might be in trouble here, getting dove here by Coops and Zensho, taking lots of damage. Death Sentence does connect. The finishing blow is not taken by Zensho. Marky lives with a sliver of health.
Yeah, 1 HP right there onto Marky. Good use as well of the Killer Instinct, adding more shielding to help him survive. But I think Archangel hesitated there. They thought they dealt enough damage to take down Marky's Kaisa. He will survive. He does have teleport to get back into lane. Still good attempt there by Archangel. They did burn both of the summoners of Marky, but man, I really think they could have picked up the kill if none of them had hit.
Light might be under attack here, but seems like Trevor just goes straight for the Spell Thief Ignite. But yeah, that bot side, Archangel really could have taken that down, but the shields just in time coming from Shadow really saved Marky there.
Yeah. Now things are sort of gonna reset here. Like we mentioned, Archangel wants to start fighting once they hit the power spikes on their primary carries. Once Trevor hits 1 to 2 items on the Zoe, once Zensho gets his tier fully stacked.
He does get caught by the Death Sentence here. This is going to be 3-member Shadow. Not very fortunate here for Hate, and this does give up the Cloud Drake.
It's a lot of damage actually. Hate once again getting caught out. Was he sitting on a ward, or did Cook see him?
Coop just saw him
into that bush. So that's a great read by Archangel support. Like you mentioned, the Cloud Drake will be given up here. No jungler, no chances for a steal.
And it seems like Light's still going to try and pay back some damage here against Ivalice. Misses the Shuriken, but now he's asleep. Trevor might go in here. Collateral damage finishes him off with Zensho trying to go for a kill secure there. But the important thing here is Archangel gets so much pressure mid lane, takes down this turret. First turret of the game. Gonna get even more. MJ does not have a means of escaping here. No blast cone around this area. He does have the shield from his Bellows Breath, but it's not enough against 3 members possibly, but does get away. The threat of Hate there, actually jumping in onto Rocks there. Actually onto Trevor there. It seems like they take them down 1-for-1.
Yeah, so much commitment just to take down Trevor. So at least they got something back. But man, look at the placement. During that previous, Trevor actually placed the bubble onto the Deathmark Shadow that Light initially set down. So that was a really nice play from him. Means that the Zed had no escape. His style points from Rocks with the collateral damage to execute him.
Both options there would have been pretty bad, but of course, IPT gets a little bit in return there. Archangel does not get the first third of the game, even though they had a little bit of a chance there. IPT defends that.
And now we're moving 11 minutes into this game. The Manamune is already completed onto Zensho, so we will be stacking that up. Very happy about that. Whereas Marky, looking at his items, only has the Berserker Greaves, not even a Recurve Bore or Pickaxe. Nothing that looks like a Ginsu's Rage Blade is on this Kaisa, so it'll take a lot more time for Marky to go online as MJ is being shot right
is
here.
going to try and take down MJ. This time, Ivalis has a good flank. Now MJ has nowhere to escape. He does not have his flash. And no teammates to support him, just easily gets taken down.
No flashes on this Ornn. Why are you face checking a bush? If you don't see the enemy jungler on the map, you have to assume that he's near you. You have to respect the fact that Rock is looming. He's currently 5-0-2 on this Graves. 100% kill participation. Really showing off why Graves is the strongest jungler.
It just has so much damage, and with teammates, it can bring the CC to him. That's going to bring a lot of pressure. And now, once again, IPT gives up another objective here from a death. And this is going to be the Rift Herald. Going to be very useful here. Archangel might get first third of the game. So that's just even more gold in their pockets.
Yeah, and looking back to face checks from IPT have really set them back here. First start going over to Ivalis on this Singe. It's going to be super annoying to deal with him in that long lane where the number one rule in the league, you don't chase Singe.
Yeah.
How do you stop him if you don't chase him down and kill him?
And that's pretty much a situation where you can't really try and deal with a Singe because it's way too dangerous. It gives up so much pressure to the rest of the map, but you have no choice but to try and respond to it. Trevor and Copes might be going for a dive here onto Marky and Shadow, but they did get detected by Ward before they put down their control ward. So this might possibly just be a very clean turret takedown by Archangel.
Yeah, they're sending a lot of members to brute force this tower in the bot lane, adding their Rift Herald as well. Means that they will definitely take this tower. There's 5 members strong. They really want to make use of this Rift Herald here. See, the Rift Herald hasn't had the HP reduced yet, so the next time
it's going to be huge damage on the second tier.
It's going to be massive damage onto this tower. Look at this. 5 members strong.
Needs to brace for impact here. Archangel want this turret very hard. Velos is going to be the call. The Forge got to try and push them away. Just clear that wave and take down a little bit of that Rift Herald HP. But Marky took a lot of damage trying to defend that. Hey, tries to go for an Impale. Actually goes straight for it. Takes down Ivalis. But now Shadow might pay the price here. Collateral damage pushes Hate in such a deep territory of HP.
Oh no!
Here. Oh no, Light. Gonna try and go for Zensho here. He actually succeeds, but going back to that Shadow will not be an option. Has to take the back door here. Oh, actually goes back and gets taken down by Rocks. What? That's actually quite unfortunate for him there. I think he could have escaped just by walking backwards because his team can't cover him in the back.
Yeah, he was walking towards a different base, so I'm really questioning why he decided to go back. Archangel only made the play. They wanted to get both towers in the bot lane. They actually take them down. The only way IPT were going to stop that was if they were able to find a fight. They used everything. They used their Rakan ultimate, the Impale, the Call of the Forest God. They really tried to force that team fight. They did pick up a few kills, but in the end, they still lost both their towers.
Both their towers and a few of their teammates' lives as well. So Archangel, I think, is pretty worth it for them, even if they lost one of their members.
Yeah, and this is a scary thing. If you're IPT, you're facing a poke comp from Archangel. The siege setup for Archangel is both Trevor and Zenzo are just gonna poke with their skill shots. Then Rocks is the wave clearer, right? So they're just gonna push forward over and over. The only way that IPT can stop this is if they look for a fight. But if they look for a fight from a point where they're behind in gold, there's the discrepancy.
Oh man, Hate might be a little bit of trouble here. Death Sentence is definitely gonna put him into execution range. Archangel gets another pick off against Hate. They can't quite get Baron yet because it hasn't spawned, but they can go for this mid lane turret. And IPT, they're in such a predicament here because a lot of the ways they can engage onto Archangel is based on them getting high move speed, dashing onto a member, and then take him down with like a charm or an impale. But since Archangel is quite mobile in some of their carries here, like the Arcane Shift, and the Call of the Forge God can even be dodged by the ultimate coming here from Trevor. So they have very narrow instances where they can actually engage, especially that they're behind 7k gold.
Yeah, I think also Hate, with the pickoffs he's been giving Archangel, the starter has not given them the highest value for this game. We haven't seen the Impale actually get them anything aside from just the start of fight. In the end, he still goes down.
Yeah, and so far, every time he runs in, he just gets CC'd. And then, even though he gets the Impale, he just gets taken down so quickly.
Yeah, definitely a tough spot here for IPT. They still have ways to force fights against Archangel. That's one positive moving forward. If they find a good engage, they can push Archangel back. But it's still a matter of whether or not Archangel gives them the opportunity to.
And Rox is such a huge threat here. They have to be careful. If they make a play and go for an engage, Rox has to be taken down because Zensho, even though he has his Manamune and his Triforce, he's not as huge of a threat as Rox here with 6 kills and 3 assists. And he's quite beefy as well with HP and the armor from his items.
I think regardless, everyone on Archangel right now, especially the damage dealers, are massive threats. They are hitting their power spikes. As for IPT, looking at their items, Yomu's Ghostblade on Zed, just a Ginsu's Rage Blade on the Kaisa. That's not enough to match the two
Oh,
items.
they're gonna try and go here, but Hate once again gets CC'd. Almost gets taken down. Collateral damage almost takes him down. Shadow pays for it with his life. MJ gonna try and run away. Bellows Breath, a little shield here, but Light tries and go for a play, but gets taken down as well. Ivel is doing so much damage, gets Lantern out. And now MJ and Marky forced to defend this. Trevor jumps in so hard, actually dies for it, but Zensho gonna try and go for something here, but he just has to push this minion wave.
Yeah, Trevor goes down, but I think the damage has been done. The Zed is gone from the map. No more threat onto Archangel. He's gonna take down this tower, possibly an inhibitor. The death timers are still short. It's only 18 minutes into this game. Archangel are already knocking down inhibitors. That's how far ahead they are. It looks like they're gonna go for more.
Once again, Ivel is gonna go for Shadow. Shadow can dance away from that, but it's not going to save this inhibitor. Hate is as well is gonna be responding here along with Light, but already Archangel get out of dodge.
Yeah, they're gonna back off here. Gonna respect the death timers. They were fairly short. It's only 18 minutes into the game, but still, inhibitor going down means that Archangel can now look at the other lanes. They can put Ivelis in another side, and the 4 members go up to the other one. It's gonna put so much pressure onto IPT.
IPT is just gonna slowly choke here if Archangel pushes him like this. And the thing is, this is a way faster paced game than we had earlier. And this is because Archangel, they know that IPT is still showing those mistakes, those weaknesses that they had in Game 1, and they're still jumping on them consistently. Archangel still going for that. They know they don't need to adjust anything because IPT hasn't changed how they play in this game.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why IPT is facing a deficit like this early into the game, it's the pickoffs given up by Hate in the jungle. If you're running a comp with a Skarner, you need to find picks around that Impale. They haven't gotten the maximum value from Hate Skarner in this game. They haven't been able to set up plays. They haven't been able to make the proactive moves. Whereas Archangel, they've been constantly finding all of these fights, all of these pickoffs. That's why they are ahead, and that's why they are controlling this game. Now they're posturing around the top side of the map. Everyone will be knocking on this tower. Did you have a Mountain Drake to help them take this down even quicker?
They do have that Triforce as well, so there's just so much damage here coming from Zensho, and that's just going to extend their lead even more, not just in terms of gold, but also in how they control the territories around this map.
And there's not even a single response from IPT. There's just nothing they could do to answer what Archangel is doing.
It's just way too difficult at this point. Even if MJ gets, say, a good Call of the Forge God, the rest of IPT's follow-up engages involve them running at Archangel, and Archangel is so good at responding for that with damage. Ivelis could pay for this, but there's going to be so many resources here. As they take down Ivelis, it's going to take them a while. He is a tank, however, they've already taken Baron while they were killing Ivelis.
That was probably the only play that IPT had since Ivelis is way too pushed up. But he's saying worth right now because he'd happily give up his life for the Baron. And it gives Archangel so much more control in this game, as if they didn't have any. Now they're gonna try and knock down more inhibitors in IPT's
Archangel
base.
gonna go and crash the party here in IPT's base. As soon as they regroup, as soon as they recall, they can try and go for a play. With the super minions still pushing in this mid lane here, they can still go for so much in these side lanes.
Yeah, and a bunch of items being picked up here by Archangel after their reset. QSS is now complete onto Zencho, so he's not under any threat of that impale from the Skarner. Still no Zonya's Hourglass onto Trevor. He does have components for it though, so he has a bit more armor to try and survive the burst of light. Now Archangel, they're going to set up their siege here and try and poke at IPT. Like I mentioned, the question is for IPT, can they find that engage? Can they find the turnaround in this game? They have the tools to do so, but it's going to take a monumental effort if they want to find that comeback.
They need such a good opening, and Archangel's not giving it to them. Just very safely, they're relying more on the minions. Ival is going to try and push them away from this turret.
The zoning cinch.
The threat of that poison trail and that fling is just way too much. IPT can't get a read on where to strike.
See, Archangel don't even have to fight here. All they need to do is poke at IPT, use Cinch to zone them away, and just look at the buildings, take down the towers. There's no reason for us to take a team fight against you because we know that you yourself aren't confident enough to go for the fight.
Yeah, with 12k gold ahead and that zoning Singe, they can just slowly choke out IPT here. They need to make a play here. Oh, but the headbutt doesn't get the call of the Forge God back. MJ has a headbutt away. And now IPT is such in a bad position. Shadow gonna try and go for an engage, but gets taken down almost immediately. No engage here for IPT, and Archangel at 23 minutes. They're gonna take game 2 of this series.
Yeah, this is game over.
Oh my days.
Ruin Ivory's KDA a bit more, but that's GG to Archangel.
Wow.
They go up 2-0 in the best of 5.
That is just absolutely stunning performance here from Archangel, but for IPT, they've been fumbling so much, giving away so much free resources and objectives to Archangel.
Well, I think when they first picked the Skarner during the pick and ban phase, they were already digging their grave. Why are you putting so much priority on a jungler that's out of meta?
It's not even S tier, not even A tier, I think.
And if you pick him, you aren't making plays around him. He wasn't ahead at any point of the game. So essentially, pick and ban phase, you're already burying yourselves. I'm not surprised that Archangel won in 23 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, as I said, a lot of their engage is based on them running up to Archangel.
Yeah.
But in the process of them running up to get their engage, say, with the quickness from Shadow, with the Impale, at the point where they actually get to their targets, they're already dead. And that just gives so much space for Zensho and Trevor to just mow them down.
Yeah, and we did say game 1 was the feeling out process. Game 2 was when the adjustments had to be made. It looks like more adjustments need to be asked from IPT because whatever adjustments they brought into the second game, it didn't work out for them. In fact, it made things worse for them as they were ended in 23 minutes. Now, Archangel are up a dominant 2-0 in this best of 5. It's match point for them. Will we see a possible comeback, a possible game 4, or even a reverse sweep from IPT? Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be a very tall order here for IPT. They need to give all their effort and their brains into their draft, into the way to execute their strategies, because right now they're in a very dangerous situation. Of course, this is the match for the final spot for the national qualifier, so it's all or nothing here. They have to give it their all.
Yeah, I guess who will join Mineski TNC and Parsi Esports in that promotion, in the national qualifiers, it's just up in the air at this point.
Yeah, definitely. IPT has a lot on their plate right now that they have to deal with. But of course, let's see how they deal with that in Game 3. The next game, well, we'll be casting. We've been your shoutcasters. I'm Atlas. With me is Chisto, and we'll be seeing you after a short break. Forge got to try and push them away, just clear that wave and take down a little bit of that Rift Herald HP, but Marky took a lot of damage trying to defend that. Hey, tries to go for an Impale, actually goes straight for it, takes down Ivalis, but now Shadow might pay the price here. Collateral damage pushes Hate in such a deep territory of HP.
Oh no!
Here. Oh no, Light. Gonna try and go for Zensho here. He actually succeeds, but going back, to that Shadow will not be an option. Has to the back almost gets taken down. Collateral damage almost takes him down. Shadow pays for it with his life. MJ gonna try and run away. Bellows Breath, a little shield here, but Light tries and go for a play, but gets taken down as well. Ivor is doing so much damage, gets Lantern out, and now MJ and Marky forced to defend this. Trevor jumps in so hard, actually dies for it, but Zensho gonna try and go for something here, but he just has to push his minion away.
Yeah, Trevor goes down, but I think the damage has been done. The Zed is gone from the map. No more threats. Onto our
slowly choke on IPP here. They need to make a play here. But the headbutt doesn't get the call of the Forge God back. MJ has a headbutt away. And now IPP is such in a bad position. Shadow gonna try and go for an engage, but gets taken down almost immediately. No engage here for IPT, and Archangel at 23 minutes. They're gonna take game 2 of this series.
Yeah, this is game over.
Oh my days.
I will KDA a bit more, but that's GG to Archangel.
Wow.
They go up 2-0 in the best of 5.
Beyond the lands of streams,
go.
Invincible.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is, of course, the Globe Conquerors Manila, the lower bracket match between IPT, Imperium Pro Team, and Archangel. This is Game 3, and we'll be your shoutcasters. I'm Atlas. With me is Chisto.
Yeah, and kakatapos lang natin dun sa Game 2 where it was ended in 23 minutes by Archangel. Such a dominant win for them, and it was a really nicely played game from them as far as pick and bans goes, and execution in game as well. Just everything turned out in their favor, and now match point na sila. Isang game na lang, sasamahan na nila ang Barcy Esports sa Conquerors Manila National Qualifier.
And Imperium Pro Team right now, they have their backs to the corner. They have to give it their all, because here, if they lose everything here. And really, they want to get into those national qualifiers. They want to be up there with Mineski, TNC, and Barcy. So here, they have to step it up. They have to fix all their mistakes, but that's so difficult. They've already had 2 games. Try and fix all their mistakes from the previous best of 3 all the way to Game 1 and Game 2. if they don't catch it now, it might slip away for the rest of the split.
Yeah, I think papasok na rin tayo para sa what could be the final pick and ban phase, though there are some adjustments being made, I think. So sorry for that delay, but yeah, gaya na sinabi natin earlier, this is match point for Archangel. This is the final chance for Imperium Pro Team to mount a comeback. Ngayon, looks like they are sticking to what they have been banning out throughout this pick and ban. Wala nagbabago sa ban sila, really.
Yeah, it seems like it's still going to be all junglers. They banned Skarner as Archangel banned Sinzao, but now IPT picks up the Graves instead of a lower tier jungler for this patch, while Archangel still going for that Rakan that they liked in game 1.
Yeah, tingnan natin ano yung isasama ng Archangel sa Rakan na to. Finally, they're gonna pick up the Kaisa. We saw Zenshu play this champion against Barca Esports yesterday, and he did play it fairly well. Ngayon, anong maging response ng IPT? They're gonna settle for the Ezreal, so top tier AD carry style for this game.
And it seems like they're just picking a lot of these powerful picks here. IPT going for the Zoe now. Seems like they're just switching up their picks from the previous game. Archangel, how will they respond to this?
Tignan natin anong kukunin nila. So far, wala pang nilock in the front line.
Yeah, this could be the mid laner, just not to give so much information to IPT here. And they do have an option to get a pick.
Okay, so naglock in ng Yasuo itong Archangel, and I'm expecting them to pair this champion with a bunch more knockups. Tignan mo yung lineup ng IPT, wala pa silang nilock in the front line tank.
Yeah.
Super squishy champions. Kapag may nahuli itong Archangel sa engage sila, wasak na wasak itong IPT.
Yeah, IPT really need to get something beefy in the front line here. Archangel going for something juicy here. It is gonna be the Lee Sin. That is gonna be tough here if we get some good ganks here.
Okay, kailangan nila ng at least a bit of a frontline dito to survive what Archangel can toss at them. Grom will be the lock in here for Shadow. Kailangan ka top lane. Okay, nice. Shen will give them a bunch of safety here if they do choose to go this route. It is locked in for the top lane. So yun nga, the first 3 picks were but of squishies. Now they have the front line. Ano ang dadali ng Archangel into that top lane?
This could go pretty well against the Shen here, but so far I'm liking IPT's draft better than the previous games, because here, since they know that Archangel wants to jump on them with the Yasuo, with the Kaisa and the Rakan, even the Lee Sin. The Wukong. So this is just full-on dive here for Archangel and IPT. They're banking everything on being able to repel that dive with the Braum and the Shen.
Alam mo gusto ko kasi yes, nandun yung Braum and yung Shen, pero tignan mo yung backline access. Tignan mo yung backline access ng Wukong. Kaya niya mag-dash doon sa likod. Kaya siya sundan ng Rakan because Rakan can dash the allies. Lee Sin could also dash the allies. So
Yasuo can just jump in there.
Kayang daanan ng Archangel yung frontline na ibabato sa kanila ng Imperium Pro Team for this game. Actually, everyone can follow up. Even Kaisa, when you look at it.
Just so straight up crash like a comet into IPT's backline and completely crush them. IPT, man, Shadow's going to have his work cut out for him in this game. He's going to go full peel duty here for Marky and Light. It's going to be very difficult to deal with this. IPT, they need to step it up. This could potentially be the last game of this series, and they really need to be able to play against this super heavy team Archangel's picked up.
Yeah, pero looking back, the comp that IPT is bringing into this next match is very, very similar to what Archangel won with 23 minutes. And now, looking at it, they do have options for protection, but still the threat of that backline dive coming from Archangel is massive. Sobrang ganda ng engage na ibabato ng Archangel. Kung kayo yung Imperium Pro Team, palagi nyung iisipin yung engage na yan.
Yeah, but if IPT dodges the bullet here, they could go big here as we get into Game 3, what could potentially be the IPT's last chance to get back in this best of 5. IPT versus Archangel. It's going to be quite a match here. So much pressure on IPT here. They need to step it up.
Yeah, makikita natin kung kaya nga ng Archangel na tapusin na yung series dito. Ayaw na nilang patagalin ito. Alam nilang hawak nila yung momentum.
Yeah.
Lahat ng pressure dito nasa IPT.
Seems like that is going to be very tough. Seems like Shadow is playing with fire here, but it doesn't seem like Archangel's going for the same cheese that they were going for earlier, just guarding the entrances. to their jungle.
Alam mo, Atlas, inaabangan ko talaga yung level 6 ng Archangel dito. Yung malaking power spike para sa buong team comp nila. Yung level 6 na yan.
I can imagine just diving someone. So much CC, so much burst damage coming from Archangel. They could just go straight up, kill someone, take the turret, and perhaps another objective.
Yung Yasuo palang panalo na sila eh. Yung pag-lock-in pala ng Yasuo, nanalo na sila sa akin.
That is quite a juicy, spicy pick indeed.
Juicy and spicy.
Yeah, dude, that's like
Bakit
a great
parang
combination.
Bakit parang gutom ka na, Atlas? Yung way na nagsasalita ka, parang di ka pa kumain.
That is true. And I'm hungry. I'm hungry for a good game right here. IPT versus Archangel. A cornered animal is always going to be the most vicious. So here, IPT is going to have to give it their all.
Okay, so makikita natin whether or not mabubusog ka sa game na to.
Tignan lang natin.
Tignan na lang natin.
There are a few ways that IPT can deal with Archangel. If Archangel pulls the trigger and they don't, and IPT dodges the bullet, they can go for a really good extended fight here because, Trevor and life is still a little bit trade-off. But once again, if Archangel misses their shot, IPT can just mow them down because Archangel is not very beefy.
That's true, that's true. Hindi mo nga makukunat yung members ng Archangel, so it's heavily reliant on them finding that fight, finding that engage. Mukhang di sila natatakot. Lumaban dito ng level 1.
Just straight up, he knows he has a
Kaso
little bit of
level
an
2
advantage.
siya.
Go straight for it, dealing lots of damage against MJ, but now that he's level 2, has to be a little bit more careful. Ivalis, he still needs to be very careful here.
Yeah, kailangan niya mag-ingat, especially since si Hate nandito sa top side ng map, whereas Rox is making his way there. Right now, clearing his own Raptors. And yeah, mukhang atrasan na muna na to.
Should be able to just get that red buff here. Ivalis needs to be very cautious with how he does his combo, because if MJ is able to detect when he wants to go in, he can just potentially block all of his damage and then punish him with his own blades.
Yeah, yung level 6 talaga eh, pinaka-inaabangan ko dito para sa Archangel. Kasi doon natin makikita yung knockups, doon natin makikita yung Yasuo. Doon napakalupit ngayon. Oh, Juke!
Yeah, Ivalis, because he already burns. Ooh, minions dealing so much damage. But yeah, because he already burned his protection there with his blade. It seems like Ivalis goes straight for combo. But of course, ranged minions deal so much damage at low levels. It's gonna be very tough here for Ivalis to get something good. If Rox can gank him, he is around the top side. They could potentially go and make Ivalis too strong for MJ to handle.
Yeah, kailangan mag-ingat ni Ivalis when going for these trades. Especially kapag maraming minions si MJ. Kayang-kayang patayin ng Shen yan this early into the game.
The taunt is going to kill him if he's not careful. Rox is right around the corner. He wants to go for something against MJ. They have every capability to do this.
Mag-taunt ka MJ.
There's so much restraint coming from MJ here.
Taunt?
It seems like he just wants to go in.
Taunt.
Ivalis takes a little bit of damage and visibility from Decoy, but it doesn't seem like he pulled the trigger there. Very fearful of those ranged minions, and Hate could potentially get a read on where he is.
Ayaw iba to ni MJ. Taunt niya ngayon maglalaban parehas ng jungler.
Rox is in a little bit of a disadvantage here, getting chased with a red buff. Hate actually misses his end of the line here, but he's still going for it. Both junglers burn their flashes.
Walang bawi. Walang bawi. Si Rox's Elise, he just forced to run away, respecting the damage that Hate could bring out. And that's why Graves, we keep saying this over and over, one of the strongest junglers on this current patch. I mean, walang nagawa si Roxo.
Yeah,
tumakbo lang siya.
Especially since Hate was able to get the smoke screen out. That means Rox missed so much information and subsequently damage in that little fight. It wasn't even a fight, he just ran away. So has to be very careful in how he deals with that.
Yeah, gusto ko yun. Gusto ko pinapakita ni Hate yung dominance niya. After those first 2 games, not the best start para dito sa jungler ng IPT. Pero so far, bumabawi siya dito. But still, ang tanong, madadala ba niya yun para sa buong game 3 na to? Because this is the life on the line para sa IPT. Kailangan nila manalo dito or else panalo na sa BO5 itong Archangel.
Yeah, definitely on a razor's edge means that IPT really is pressured to go for much better play than earlier. It seems like it's doing very well for them. Light is constantly pushing Trevor into his turret. With so much damage come from him, the wind wall is not enough for Trevor to actually try and fight back. Rox really needs to get an early good gank here. Because if he doesn't, the usefulness of this Lee Sin plateaus much earlier.
Yeah, inaabangan talaga. Yung level 6 talaga eh. Yung level 6 na to si Trevor, kaso the rest of his team, hindi pa sila umabot sa point na yun. Gusto kong makakita ang last breath dito.
Yeah, it's gonna be basically the crux of their engage because that puts Trevor in such a good position to deal his damage. Pero pag naging level 6 na sila and IPT matches their level, that's also one of the ways that IPT can deal with them. That's when the Stand United becomes available. That's when the Glacial Fissure from Shadow becomes available. So kailangan nila mag-ingat talaga.
Gusto ko na napatagalog ka, Atlas, ha. Magandang sign yan. Moving forward sa game na to. Gusto ko yan. Pero yun nga, gaya na sinabi, tama din naman. Pagka nga nag-level 6 na itong IPT, Stand United is available. Added protection, especially laban sa mga all-in, di ba? One of the things that can annoy players the most is yung, oh, okay, mapapatay ko na, bakit may Shen?
Yeah.
Yung mga bagay na ganun ba? Ngayon si Trevor,
this goes
okay.
straight for the Ignite. Cleanses it away. However, it's still getting pushed back really hard. Light still has a lot of priority in this lane.
Ay, gusto ko yung ginawa ni Trevor. He does have the cleanse, and FYI lang sa summoners na nanonood, pwede mong i-cleanse yung Ignite. So, he doesn't even get a tick of the damage from that. I believe just one
Very quick response here, but it's going to be an engage. Coming in for Coops. He wants to go on to Shadow, but Shadow does not get knocked up. He has a little bit of protection himself, though.
Yeah. Braum is pretty tanky at this point.
Man, that is so dangerous. However, he's dealing a lot of damage. MJ actually mitigates so much because of the Spirit's Refuge.
Yeah, pero kung isipin mo, the fact that Ivalice is constantly chipping down onto MJ, he does have the corrupting potion to keep himself topped off. Tingnan mo, onti pa dito, mag-all in na to si Ivalice.
He has his whirlwind ready. He wants to go in, journey to the west style here. Seems like MJ needs a little bit of help here from Hate, if possible, because Ivalice is really pushing him in.
Yeah, dito na nga si Hate in the area. Is he spotted by a ward?
Yeah, he
Kita
is.
siya nung ward dito. Sinasayang lang ni Ivalice yung oras ni Hate dito eh. Parang, okay, huliin nyo ako, tapos... Oh?
Yeah.
Gre-recall
Ivalice.
muna si Hate.
Yeah, Ivalice is not going to get too cocky even with that information. So yeah, IPT. It seems like they're doing pretty okay, in preventing Archangel from getting that all-in that they want. But look at that, still so much damage. Spirit's Refuge is going to defend him with a lot of damage.
Yeah, no trade-off right there. Yun lang yung gagawin niya siya dito. He just has to try and hold down the Wukong. Tapos kapag may nakita siya nangyayari on the other side of the map, try niya tumulong with his Stand United, but still no fights happening. Unlike yung previous game na nakita natin, which is super fast-paced, this game is going quite the opposite direction. Medyo mabagal yung start nitong early game of Game 3.
I think it's because IPT has actually made adjustments in their draft. They aren't as haphazardly picking random lower tier junglers when they do have the priority in picks. So now they actually have a composition that can survive Archangel's assault.
Yeah, no more of that Udyr. Wala na nung Skarner. They've picked up Graves.
And that's actually very solid. Shadow wants to go for something, but Rocks and Trevor are in here. Let's go straight for the last breath onto Shadow. Stand United gets burned here, but it's still a 4v3. Light wants to get there, and looking at top lane, looks like Ivalice is using his opportunity to just push in the top side so heavily.
Yeah, yun nga, tingnan mo, I want to see the health on that top side tower because Wukong takes down towers really quickly, especially with his Q being an auto attack reset. Nag-all-in yung Archangel in the bot lane, pero yung Stand United, gaya na sinabi mo, pag nag-level 6, meron pa rin defensive options.
Light could be in trouble. Zoe has no escapes here. Trevor does not have last breath, but here comes the rest of the squad. First blood at 9 minutes goes to Zensho.
Ganun kalakas si Yasuo. Hindi niya kailangan yung ult niya para patayin yung Zoe niya. Yasuo siya eh. Wala siyang pake. So ayun nga, walang takas sila. It's still no flash after an earlier fight against Trevor. And nakita mo rin yung follow-up. Making use of the killer instinct from the Kaisa. Able to close the gap into and deal the damage they need. First blood onto that Zoe.
Oh, Marky might be a little bit trouble here. Coach wants to go for the knockup, but he can just very safely go back to Zensho.
Kaya lang, kanina nasa mid lane tong dalawang to. Ang bilis nung pag-rotate nila down to the bot lane.
Teleport. Oh.
Face check ka na naman!
Hate might be in a little bit of trouble, but he just quick draws it out of the way.
Okay. So, mag-face check naman si Hate. not
Man.
the best thing that he's been doing throughout this best
He
of
does
5.
have a little bit of safety with a quick draw, but it's still not something, not a habit that you want to form here. Ooh, Trevor with a wind wall, blocking off potentially huge damage onto Rocks.
Okay na, wind wall niya yung damage.
Seems like that is going to be the case here. Let's see how they play around this. This Ocean Break could be big for either of these teams. It's going to be quite useful. And a lot of pings around that river area.
You know, I feel like some things in this game, we just have to explain them in the simplest way possible. Kasi you can't go more in depth with the
Oh,
Yasuo.
they want to go in onto light. He has no escape here, even with his own escapes. Doesn't get enough. Shadow could potentially be in trouble. He gets knocked off, but
What?
my hate actually gets 2 kills from that as Archangel dives way too deep there.
Paano umabot si Zensho dun?
Probably Killer Instinct. Actually, no, he didn't use it there. Just probably just went in so hard. I believe still wants to go onto MJ here. He can get the jump. Yeah.
Go, 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 go.
If MJ doesn't get the Spirit's Refuge, he can deal so much damage here. There we go. This is going to be a straight-up kill onto Ivalice here. If he can use his flash, it seems like he's not. He actually goes for the dive there with a Nimbus Strike.
Really nice play there. An assassination onto the Shen. Sino ba talaga yung tunay na ninja? So sa kanilang dalawang,
Oh, man.
It's a waste.
That's a waste of a teleport. He didn't think that Ivalice would go straight for the turret there, and a thumbs up emote from Ivalice seals the deal.
Gusto ko yun. Gusto ko yung BM ni Ivalice. I like how tina-thumbs up. Okay, nice TP pare.
Got him.
Sayangin mo lang. I mean, in what world na hindi babasagin ni Ivalice yun?
Yeah.
Kong takes out towers really quickly with the bonus damage from his Q. Ngayon,
Seems like
Ocean
it's not
Drake
worth
ang
it
tinitignan ng Archangel.
Could go for it. Hate gonna try to go in here, but it seems like Rock secures it. Hate waiting for his quick draw cooldown here, but he's taking so much damage. Look at that, just a sliver of health left.
Alam mo, gusto ko sundan siya ni Zensho dun eh. Kaso, mamamatay din si Zensho. Pero, gusto ko makita yung aggression nitong Archangel. Hate does burn his flash. I feel like hindi nila kailangan i-challenge yung Ocean Drake na yun eh.
Yeah, it would have been way too risky. Ocean Drake's value is good, but not enough that you could swing the game potentially in the enemy's favor. So IPT playing with fire.
Yeah. Or water in that case, Ocean Drake.
That's true. Let's see how they all play out here. Seems like IPT, even with these small microaggressions against Archangel, they're not going for full commitments.
Kaya ayaw nila mag-commit eh. Tulad ng mga ibang bagay. Wag natin pag-usapan yun. Wag tayo pumunta lang sa mga bagay na ayaw mag-commit.
SMH.
Share ko lang.
Ooh, MJ.
Ito, share ko lang. Namamatay si Ivalice sa top lane.
It seems like Ivalice, he has a lot of opportunity. The taunt has been burned here. Ivalice can try and go for a revenge here. With a whirlwind, outplays MJ. He taunts the whirlwind here. Bot lane, Hate could be a little bit of trouble here. Rox goes in, dealing lots of damage, but gets taken down himself. Crooks goes for the knockup, gets killed in return. Doesn't seem like Trevor wants to risk this. He has the wind wall, but what can he do to follow it up? He has the flash, goes straight for the Q, the Steel Tempest, and actually Marky missing shots backwards, misses Trevor completely there. Seems like Archangel is satisfied with that trade.
Share mo lang no, nasatisfied sila sa trade na yun. Pero if you're going back, I think yung iniisip ni Marky doon, Trevor would have dashed through him. That's why he pointed it backwards. Kaso, I also think Trevor fumbled with his flash Q because he Q and then flashed. It actually missed onto Marky, so still a bit of a messy thing
Or
there.
maybe
Pero
it was the double mind game.
I don't think ganun sila ka in-depth na yun. Pero still,
300 IQ play.
that's a massive win.
Yeah.
Para sa Archangel kasi they got the ace. Now they're up 3 kills. They have control of this game. And they can still constantly find fights here.
Marky did get a triple kill from that. That does boost him quite a bit, at least 1,000 gold in his pocket. But Archangel still happy that Trevor got a few kills here and there.
Anong gagawin ng Ezreal kapag merong ang hinaharap ni Yasuo na 3-0-1 na?
Oh man.
It's
he has follow-ups
Yasuo.
too.
It's Yasuo. Yasuo is the best champion in this game. There's no way na kaya sila ni Marky. Alam na lahat ng tao yan eh. Si Yasuo yung best champion in the game.
Siyempre.
Yung mga gumagamit ang hindi. Yun yung malala, yung mga gumagamit ng Yasuo.
Got him. They're gonna attack you with their glorious Nippon steel folded 1,000 times. Is it gonna be enough though if Shadow goes in? Doesn't seem like they want to commit too hard.
Hindi siya makapasok. Sarado. Sarado yung daan.
Seems like that is gonna be the case here for one side. Let's see, Light could potentially be in trouble here as Cubs goes in straight. Stand United will actually be enough to save him as both bot laners of Archangel back off.
Yeah, pero that will chunk Light here. He's too low to defend this tower. Wala nang wave clear available.
Rift Herald is available for Archangel too. They can burn it here. Zoning go for a really hard push on this one, but it seems like they're gonna save it. It's just satisfied with this first tier mid lane turret.
Okay, hindi rin nila pwedeng gamitin yung Rift Herald doon. Naka-Ivalice.
Oh yeah, with Ivalice.
Ito. Lalabanan nila yung Yasuo.
Trevor!
Ano na?
Dito? You're gonna get stunned here by the concussive blows. Actually, very solid dive there by IPT. Meanwhile, Archangel, they're gonna try and pressure two sides of the map here, mid lane and top side. They're actually taking this quite quickly. Ivalice wants to go for that turret. He can potentially go for that with his Q. Just go straight for it, dodge it with his decoy. Seems like mid lane is a successful defense by Light, but that's so much damage on that turret.
Yeah, unti-unti rin nauubos sa towers dito yung IPE. They will trade one back, but still, that's a win in terms of global gold trade para dito sa Archangel.
And then it's just a little bit more on that mid lane turret, and they can reap the benefits of that turret gold. And Archangel, they have a lot. Yeah, they have a lot more freedom to control this map here with almost all of these turrets taken down. Actually, top side and mid side, they can take these turrets down and just have the vision control, have that information network around the jungle of IPT.
Yeah, kung titignan mo andun nga yung safety galing kay Shadow tsaka kay MJ for that front line. But MJ isn't building the normal tank route on Shen. He's actually rushing the Titanic Hydra for more dueling potential.
He's gonna try and rocks could potentially be in danger, but Coops zoning him out.
Ivalice.
Ivalice wants to go in with his high burst spells here, but it doesn't seem like he can go in. However, Zensho needs to be a little bit more careful. Ivalice is going to go to his rescue, however. Could jump in with a killer instinct, but doesn't need to as Ivalice takes away the kill. Yeah, Zensho baited him hard there. The thing is, the rest of Archangel can respond to threats so quickly.
Oh no.
Oh man, Light could be knocked up. Just for the last breath here with Trevor. He wants to go for it, but unfortunately, that Glacial Fissure is going to stop all attempts at that.
Yeah, gusto ko rin yung wind wall placement ni Trevor. He knew that Shadow would instantly go for the Glacial Fissure once he did get ulted by the Yasuo. The wind wall placement mitigated a lot of the damage that both Marky and Light can put out. And Mountain Drake will be the next objective under fire here by Archangel. Easy pickup.
Seems like they do get an objective there, as well as defending topside from the push from MJ. Seems like Archangel has their lanes in a pretty good spot right now.
Yan, tignan mo yung binili dito ni Zensho. The Nashor's Tooth on the Kai'Sa. Another AP Kai'Sa build. Yung nakikita natin in this game. Gonna dish out a lot of damage. As for Marky, has completed his 2-item spike. Trinity Force and Muramana complete. Binubuo pa niya yung pangalawang tier item. Yung gonna go for the Archangel Staff.
Gonna try and build it up to just a lot of mana, a lot of damage, and a lot of survivability in
okay, 1v1.
Ooh, with the nearsightedness. Ooh, jumps over the wall with a killer instinct. Does he have enough to survive? He does not, but Ivalice will avenge him.
Yeah, 4-0 Wukong picks up his 4th kill of the game. Already Duskblade and Ghostblade completed.
Full lethality is absolutely, well, lethal.
Ito yung masarap kapag Wukong kayo, yung lamang ka na nga tapos na one-shot mo yung malalambot.
Yeah. Just straight up murder.
Let's not go that deep, Atlas. Let's not go that deep. Maybe just picking up kills for the side of his team.
Let's see how Archangel plays around this. They have a lot of vision around this area. Can try and go for something against Marty to set up the waves topside, control the neutral objectives here in the jungle.
The one thing na hindi pa nagawa ng IPT, ay ng Archangel dito, sorry, is actually catch Marky on this Ezreal. So far, Marky has done a good job of avoiding the engage. Karamihan na nahuhuli on the side of IPT.
Oh, Shadow.
Is Shadow, and right now, he's under fire.
Yeah, he's gonna get taken down here if the rest of the team.
Whoa!
Oh, three-man whirlwind into the last breath coming from Ivalice and Trevor. Takes out the backline of IPT, and Archangel wipes them out except for MJ.
Yeah, after that play, a massive fight by Archangel. Nangangamoy 3-0 na to Atlas. Ngayon, Baron yung titignan ng Archangel.
My days, what a huge swing in Archangel's favor. Ano yun? They just left themselves open to Ivalice, knocking them up, and Trevor gets such a huge ult from it, and they get the Baron. Just cherry on top here.
Nangangamoy 3-0. Itong best of
Jeez.
5 na to Atlas. Nakita mo kung gaano ka-hype yung mangyayari. Basta nakita mo yung knock-up ni Ivalice. Itong mga bagay kung bakit tayo nag-e-enjoy manood ng League of
First
Legends.
replay of the day, actually.
Tignan mo yung 3-man knock-up sa backline. Wasak sila sa Yasuo. At at that point,
my days.
anong gagawin ng Stan United kung sobrang laki ng damage? Walang nagawa si MJ dito. Pinatagal lang niya yung buhay ng mga kampi niya.
Very sneaky, too, because Ivalice is so fast. He can go for the decoy and have so much uptime on that invisibility where he can go near to the backline, and he played that perfectly.
Alam mo, kung nanonood si Vulcan ngayon, siya talaga yung mag-e-enjoy eh. Siya yung mahilig mang-unggoy sa atin eh. Siya yung mahilig mag-wukong. So shoutouts kay Vulcan, yung co-caster namin.
The resident primate.
Siya yung pinaka-unggoy sa amin dito.
I mean, I want to say you're being mean, but it's true.
No, he mains Wukong.
It's true.
It's true.
Let's see how Archangel plays this. They have such a huge advantage here. They have Baron buff. They have so much gold on their carries. They can go for a lot of these fights because they can follow up to so much of this initiation that they have.
Gusto ko makakita ng isa pang knock-up. Isa pa. Do it again, do it again.
This is a feel-good moment here for Archangel. As for IPT, they have to be more careful because Ivalice, he can strike from anywhere at a moment's notice if they're not careful.
Yeah, definitely. But now, mukhang gagawin na ng Archangel standard thing here. Gonna try and split up IPT, going for more map pressure. Walang sagot yung IPT dito.
Yeah, and it's way too dangerous to send anyone against Ivalice if he starts pushing in this mid lane because really, it seems like he just has so much damage.
landed.
It seems like Ivalice is just waiting around the wings.
Pero si
here.
Ivalice,
Oh! Cook's gonna go in for the last breath as well. Trevor gets the kill,
Ivalice.
and he goes in with the ultimate. Zensho as well goes in with a killer instinct to try and get a lot more damage here. Marky is alone in his base. It seems like MJ's still trying to get out. Marky gets bursted down so hard by Trevor and Ivalice, and this might actually spell game. 20 seconds on the death timers for Light and Hate. Marky still half a minute in, and gonna try and force this without little minion wave that they have. This is smelling like a 3-0. Definitely. Light and Hate still too late to the party, and this Nexus already goes down in Archangel. They take down IPT 3-0 and move on to the national qualifiers, joining Mineski, TNC, and Barcy.
Yeah, the first game, very back and forth. The next game, 23 minutes. The third game, which sealed the deal, another 23-minute game. Nung nakuha na ng Archangel, nung nakapag-warm up na sila, they just ran away with the game. Running to the third game, so with the Yasuo and Wukong, just a few team fights really crushed IPT's hopes of ever coming back.
Because in that kind of composition, you only need a few team fights until you reach the point where you have critical mass in terms of damage. And IPT, they had a decent composition in trying to deal with that. But since they locked in too many squishies early, they weren't able to just adapt to the sheer damage potential that Archangel was able to put out. And they weren't careful. They got caught out by the fights by Ivalice, and they just got wrecked by Trevor.
Yeah, I think yung highlight mo talaga doon, the third game specifically, Ivalice on that Wukong, and yung effect lang na yun, aside from the third game, Ivalice drew so many bans away from IPT. Really targeting his pool, pero he still had that pocket pick Wukong, and nakita mo naman yung kaya niyang gawin on that champion, winning some team fights, getting solo kills here, and even outplays onto MJ. So just a great game from everyone on Archangel.
Man, that was quite an exciting game there. Ivalice riding the clouds, journey to the national qualifiers with his team on the back of Sun Wukong. as well as Trevor's Yasuo. Of course, that was so well played by Archangel. Congratulations to them. Well played as well by IPT. Unfortunately, not enough for this match. Man, this is going to be very exciting in the following weeks that we have for the Conquerors. But of course, that's all we have for today, actually. I'm Atlas. With me was Chisto, and we'll be seeing you with more esports action.
And right now, he's under fire.
Yeah, he's going to get taken down here if the rest of the team...
Whoa!
Oh, three-man whirlwind into the last breath coming from Ivalis and Trevor. Take down the backline of IPT, and Archangel wipes them out except for MJ.
Yeah, after that,
Ivalis is just waiting around the wings.
Pero si
here.
Ivalis,
Cook's gonna go in for the last bit as well. Trevor gets the kill,
Ivalis.
and he goes in with the ultimate. Zencho as well goes in with a killer instinct to try and get a lot more damage here. Marky is alone in his base. It seems like MJ's still trying to get out. Marky gets bursted down so hard by Trevor and Ivalis, and this might actually spell game. 20 seconds on the death timers for life and hate. Marky still half a minute in, and gonna try and force this without little minion wave that they have. This is smelling like a 3-0. Definitely. Light and Hate still too late to the party, and this Nexus already goes down in Archangel. They take down IPT 3-0 and move on to the national qualifiers, joining